Hi, and welcome to a guided meditation called The Way Home. My name is Corrie Thorne. I am a modern day mystic, a spiritual teacher, healer, psychic medium, and coach in all things empowerment, spiritual, emotional. And my main work has tended to lead me towards spiritual, emotional consulting and using my work as a channel to be able to help to decipher through the energy and share the messages of what we have happening outside of ourselves and how it impacts everything within us and the world we create and the identities that we try to live by. And there is such freedom in freeing ourselves of trying to be us, trying to live specific ways that we feel we have to. And so I'm hoping this meditation, or I'm giving you this meditation as a way in hopes that you can allow yourself to be set free of the mind and the heart's connection to the stories, even if it's just for the moments of where we are in this deep contemplation or in this deep set moments of being set free. And so in my deck of the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards from Shadows to Truth, we do have a card that is called The Way Home, and her name is Emi. And I'll give you a visual so you can understand the beauty that is of the endings and the beginnings, because the way home does require endings and beginnings. And sometimes we have to get lost in order to find our way. And so Emi is me spelt backwards and me spelt forward. And sometimes we believe ourselves to be that version of ourselves, yet we feel so lost. How many times have you said, I feel like I want to go home, or I feel lost. I don't feel like I don't know where I belong, or something doesn't feel right to me. Sometimes these words escape over our lips with a sigh, sometimes with frustration. And sometimes we're so unaware that it's even going to come over our lips and we just speak something out, or a sigh comes out of nowhere. Your truth is speaking to you. Your body is speaking to you. Your soul, your spirit, your essence is telling you there is more. There's more to the story, and there's more to you. And sometimes that more means stripping a lot away to become less. Less is more. And the simplicity of life, of when we untangle, uncomplicate, and release the chaos and the chaotic of the mind. And so this card within the deck, and I did pull it this morning, and this is where I got the inspiration of the guided meditation and the card speaks of endings and beginnings. Take us to the same place, but the feeling is not the same. Give yourself permission to feel. We have been so conditioned to not to feel, to run from our feelings, to avoid them, to not to walk through them. We've been told to just push past our pain, get over it, move beyond. But what if you stayed? And what if by staying and exploring and diving deeper in is actually the way to freedom, to untangle, to end cycles? Maybe that's where the ending is of the old story and where the new beginnings begin. And so the visual is a beautiful angelic being who is cloaked and dressed in a rainbow of colors. And she is moving yet you cannot see feet. You can see wings, and her golden hair is flowing into the rainbow. She's walking on a rainbow that is traveling up. Ahead of her is the light of spirit, golden, white, with an iridescent white heart, wearing a halo in a sky that is of purple hues. Below the rainbow is pinks and yellows. And she's traveling. Now this card could really truly also represent the death card and how we fear the death, just like we fear endings. Death is endings, but it's also new beginnings. We may not like the story, the script. We may not like the feeling. We definitely don't want to have to experience losing, the people in our lives. And I don't want to take us to a place of feeling that desperation in this meditation the same way. But I want you to, I'm inviting you, not wanting, I'm inviting you to give yourself permission to be able to relate it to emotions, relate it to when we connect into joy and then we step out of joy, when something makes you very happy or you get so excited, but then somebody says, oh, remember when everyone laughs so hard, it means we're going to cry after, there's going to be cry. And so we stop laughing, those moments that rob us of those joys that ended so abruptly. But if we allow ourselves to travel all the way through. And so, for example, mine was the pain in my body and having to change a lot of my life. But I tried to work through that pain for a lot of years. I tried to keep going. I tried to be strong. I tried to stay standing. And then one day I fell and I collapsed into it. And I said, I'm not running from this pain anymore. I'm not going to keep avoiding it. I'm going to sit with this and I'm going to dive deep into this. And I'm going to believe in the miracles. And if the miracles mean surgery, then so be it. But I am not going to deny myself the opportunity to say I am tired, that I hurt, that I need help, that I need healing. And with that, my heart opened. And when my heart opened, I became available. And when I cleared out all of the old stories about having to be strong, having to be courageous, having to just suck it up, having to just breathe it in, when all of those stories left, when I had no story and I had a real truth, I hurt. And that's when I recognized that I spent a lot of years saying I was sad, but I actually had anger. And my body had manifested its anger in so many ways because there was a lot of stories that needed to end that I never allowed to end. And the moment that I started the journey into endings, into the way home to me, was to recognize that I had every right to get angry. I had every right to be angry. And that anger is love. And love and anger went together. And it was an innate part of us. And so it wasn't that every time I was bothered by something that I would explode and have those explosions of energy. Is that I learned how to process. And the more I've learned the tools to process through this, the more I discovered this for myself, was the more that I recognized with this open heart, new beginnings were showing up. So with every ending, new beginnings were happening, new opportunities, new ahas. And these were moments that I could stay with longer and still not have to deny myself the time of nurturing. And so just sharing a bit of this experience in hopes that this meditation for you will somehow, in whatever ways, will help guide you to allow yourself, give yourself permission to stay with you, while also having the courage to leave behind the stories. You have to break up with you to build a new, beautiful, strong foundation. And the way home comes with the endings. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, to breathe in and breathe out. And then take a deep, deep breath. Breathe it all the way down past the belly button into the sacral. Hold it. 1, 2, 3. Let go. One more time. Breathe it all the way down. Hold it. 1, 2. Notice any thoughts, anything that's coming up, any doubts. Release, let go, let go, let go, let go of any of those thoughts, any of those trapped energies in the body. We're just releasing. Now just take a gentle breath in and breathe in now to just in the rib cage area, the solar plexus is. Above the belly button, just breathe and hold into there. And as you breathe out, just keep the breath as if you are visualizing yourself just breathing out, and the front of the belly is just coming out as if your light is just coming out. And as you breathe back in again, feel the light coming back into you. Breathe out, feel the light coming out, sense the light, see the light coming out of you through the front and back in. And now as you breathe in and out, feel the light, sense the light, see the light, know the light coming in and out through the front and the back. So if you can feel, sense, see the light. And as you breathe back in again, breathe the light back into you. And with this, as if the light just locks in and a beautiful golden orb starts to spin clockwise. This is your power center. This is where the power of the emotions exist as well. Tied into the sacral of where we create the stories and where we give birth to the stories and where we give birth to life, where we are the co-creator. Now just allowing the body to just relax. We're going to go to the root. And as you breathe in and breathe out, bring your awareness to the color red and to how many shades of red there are, and how people argue over red. And how orange is often called red. But red is its own red. And that's where the root of the stories begin. So imagine at the base of the spine, you now start to become aware, see, sense, know there to be a red vortex of energy spinning at the base of the spine. And our red ties into procreation, rooted, groundedness, being connected, travels all the way to the ancestors, to the root of the stories, to our pain, to our happiness, to our joy, to our anger, to all the things, to the ancestral generational stories. What grounds us? What are we rooted to? How rooted in our stories are we sometimes? and how much truth is in the perspectives. Remember, opinions, knowledge can be good, but knowledge not understood can lead to some very unhealthy lives. Knowledge that is not used with discernment to be absorbed and to think for yourself can become beliefs and values that are distorted, that affect the mind, that affect the body, that affect life. And if we can just be free of them, set ourselves free to ask ourselves, what is for me? What is my truth? And sometimes that's what your shadow has been screaming to you. So at this root, imagine now with your eyes closed, just allowing yourself to fall into this. Just letting yourself drop into the root. Eyes are closing, shoulders are dropping, energy is falling into a relaxed state. Feel this energy pulsating all the way down through the body. Feel the feet, the buttocks, the legs, everything locking in to being grounded and rooted to right here in this present moment. And now as we start to visualize this red, we visualize even the old story of the Red Sea and the parting of the Red Sea. And as this vortex energy opens up for us, what do we need to part ways with? What is it? What story? What old belief? What habit? What of someone else's thoughts that became your thoughts? What of somebody else's words became your words, or the way you act out your life? Are you ready to part ways with? And don't seek it. Don't even have to look for it. Just let it come. Allow it to appear to you. And with that, we call in the presence of the archangels and of the guardians of the divine. To take what you're parting ways with, what you're ready to release, and as if it's being extracted, from the body, from the root chakra, from the energy center, from the energy field of all that is in the root area. And as it's being taken, it's being sent back into the divine, into the heavens, into spirit world, to be transmuted back to you as love and new wisdom. And now at the root, feeling, sensing, knowing you're on the other side of this red. And if this red seals itself in, as if there's a seal closing in, that now that you can't get back to the story, you can't grab back onto it, you can't use it. You can't use it as an excuse, as a truth, as a weapon, as manipulation. You can't use it anymore against yourself. It's now gone. It's now on the other side. And at the root right here, right now, you're on the other side. As you look back, all you see is red. Feel red, sense red, know red. And we know there's more floating around in there. but what aspects of ourselves at the root? What have we been so grounded and locked into that is now being freed from? Whatever it may be, you may want to journal this when you come back. Now feel, sense, know, see this red now spinning in a clockwise direction. And with this, as if a new truth, a new aspect of self, a word, a thought, a possibility, something of a very high vibrating, something that really truly comes from that sense of higher self, of love and light, a spark of hope, of joy, of truth, of your true identity, your true self starts to appear. And it may be a vision, it may be a word, it may be just a chuckle, it may be a laugh, whatever it is, just let it be. Let it do its thing. Don't try to create anything. And as you breathe in and you breathe up now, we're moving to the sacral. Here you see orange. Imagine the sun setting, the sun rising. Imagine breathing into that beauty. Imagine for a moment that this sacral, you are a co-creator here, that this is where we create. This is where we hold the emotional stories. This is where we hold our love. It's where we hold our relationships, our family, our children, the people in our lives, our pets, our everything, our creative endeavors. It's also where we put protection. And as this orange starts to move, as you see it flowing, as if it's still but not still, as if you can look through it but not through it, as if you can really truly see, feel, sense, know that there's something on the other side. What keeps us from seeing another side of a story? What keeps us from seeing the other side or believing in something beyond? What keeps us sometimes from holding on to our hope? What causes us to lose faith and step into fear and insecurities? What's beyond those stories? And as you breathe into this, we're just going to quickly just ask of you to just stay gazing with your eyes are still closed from the sacral, that we just allow the self to just gaze into the sunset, sunrise energy, this orange. And right here, imagine what is possible. Who would I be without my stories? Who would I be without holding people hostage to my stories? Who would I be without adding characters and the roles they play? Who would I be without an enemy? Who would I be? And don't tell me you don't have an enemy, because sometimes that enemy is you and how you treat you. Who would I be? Who would I be on the other side of this emotion? Who would I be on the other side of an unhealthy emotional response? And here we're just going to activate imagine. Imagining. And with this orange starts to blossom. And a spark of inspiration, a new other side of the emotions, on the other side of anger, maybe joy. On the other side of sadness, happiness. But we could expand it so much more than that. There's so much more to the story. And just with this, we just get this little spark. And breathing in and breathing out. We also connect to our loved ones here. Connect to even how we've put such responsibility upon our loved ones, sometimes unintentionally, to provide safety, love. How many times have a parent said to a kid, I don't ever want you to grow up. I don't want you to leave mommy. What will mommy do without you? Guilting, shaming children into fulfilling those unmet emotional needs. Guilting, shaming others into responding to or providing for those unmet emotional needs. You're the adult. Your responsibility, not another's. Doesn't mean they have to, that they still have to be kind, but there's a difference. Breathe into this. Notice any emotion that may have even come up with that statement. I just said you may even want to argue that. Become curious of your emotions. Become curious of your relationships. Become curious of your role in relationships and the roles you place on others. It's beautiful to be curious. And with this, we're jumping into the yellow, into the solar plexus. And as we get into the solar plexus, the power of the will. And the force field of the will. And see this golden light. And this golden light has warmth. And as if you can feel the heat, sense the heat. You can even see heat. You can see the waves, the heat waves from heat. Looking at the sun, you can see those rays, and it's a ball of fire, right? And so this is where we activate our fire, our passion, our desires. This is where that annoying Aries friend comes in and says, oh, really? Calls you out on your bullshit, because you know they're going to be that honest. I'm an Aries, I can tell you this. And so there's this, so here you are. What are you truly passionate about? How many stories have you been passionately telling and creating because you believed it to be true? What if one new truth makes that story a lie? What if there's something that we just get so involved in, those heated arguments, those discussions that we have when we're so determined to be right? What if you're wrong? What if you could wake up every day and say, I know nothing. I could be wrong, but this is how I feel. Powerful statement. I could be wrong, but this is how I feel. Permission to feel, with the possibility to come to understand that feeling may have created a whole narrative, a whole personality, the whole sense of the identity. And also with the power of the will, I have the will to free myself, to choose to think a different thought, to believe the possibility that there could be another way. Freedom. And as this golden light brings us into our sense of divinity, our divine essence, the power of love. And as you breathe in, feel this warmth as if this hug now hugs your body. Sense it, know it, feel it, see it. You're being hugged. And as this beautiful divine realm, guardian angels, whoever, whatever spirit guide may be hugging you right now, feel the warmth. And as you feel this warmth, feel your rib cage kind of being squeezed in, feel that center of your back. You're being pushed into your center. Not this or that, but both. This and that can be true. This and that can impact us. Bring it in, come all the way into the middle line, into that middle center of self. Learning the power that comes from living in the middle. Opening up to possibilities, open up to perspectives, opening up to life. It frees us. It allows arguments to end. It allows endings to take place. But it's also where new beginnings that we so desire start. Feel it. Breathe into this. And with this we get pushed into the heart. And with this beautiful green energy pulsating, you see this pulsating, know this pulsating energy, feel the heart front and back pulsating. We can't trust our instincts if we can't trust our heart. If your heart has been broken, if you've only known mistrust, how do you trust your instincts? A healed heart moves us from survival to thriving, to growing, to evolving. So imagine as if this pulsating energy pulls you into your heart. What is at the heart of the matter? What is the heart of the story? What is it that you have needed, wanted, desired, that you have stuffed away, that you have closed away, that you've said it's okay, but it's not. If we let it out, if we set it free, it may change, it may evolve, it may be a grown-up version of the child's story. It may even be ridiculous, but it's been festering, been so infused and so held on to for so long that it activates that wounded child story, that it keeps you holding on to expectations and unmet needs on others and on yourself. And with this powerful healing energy is pulsating, so we feel this being released, letting it out from ourselves. It may be wanting attention. It may be that sense of not being abandoned, whatever it may be the doll you didn't get. And that may sound ridiculous that you didn't get the Cabbage Patch doll that you wanted. You may have been like me, you may have gotten the imitation one, and you were so disappointed. And you've been waiting your whole life for someone to get you that Cabbage Patch doll, to listen to you, to not to feel disappointed, to not to be let down on your special occasions, not to be laughed at, not to be joked at. See all the stories that come from one, see all the things that happen from one. That Cabbage Patch doll becomes an adult, a person, experiences life. And the more that those unmet needs, the more the heart saddens, the more the heart closes, the more the heart hardens, the more the heart has to depend only on itself and its stories. Nobody else can give me this. Nobody else meets those needs. And yet, you seek out those to fulfill that story, to victimize. No more victimizing self. No more sabotaging self, so that we can be a victim of our stories. We're setting it free so that we can trust again, so that we can love again. Let it out. You may be surprised on the little tiny story that comes from the eyes, the heart, the knowing, the experience of a child who doesn't even know the rest of the story. And as you breathe in and you breathe out, you get the expansion of the story. What if there was no dolls? What if they did everything they could to get you the doll and they just couldn't, but you couldn't get over your sadness? What if they had no money? What if they had to feed the family and they had to make one of the hardest choices? What if there's more to the story? And by freeing your heart, you're freeing everything. Imagine feeling into this. Let yourself feel this. That you can step in now and find that little child. Or you see her, you love her, you understand. And that you know her story. And that her story wasn't wrong. It was just a piece. There's more to the story. But that you're here to listen to her story. To honor her story. or his story. Feel it. And tell her it's okay to go play. Because where she's going, there is more than enough of whatever it was she didn't have. More than enough Cabbage Patch dolls, more than enough dolls, more than enough teddy bears, more than enough necklaces, more than enough rings, more than enough toys, more than enough love, more than enough attention, more than enough. More than she could ever imagine. And that she is safe and that nothing can be taken from her. All is there, all is available. And as if you open the back door to the heart and you set him free, let them go. See the smile, feel the smile. That's an ending. And as you come back in, and as the adult of you walks through the front of your heart, through this pulsating energy, you walk into the new beginning. Right here, right now, it's the new beginning, the new possibility. And trust me. The awakening of the divine within. From the divine heart. Feel the heart pulsating as if it's coming into a new rhythm. Feel it getting lighter. Heaviness, the burdens are lifting. And over divine time, each and one of these old stories slowly slips away, free in the heart. So you can heal that instinctual self so that you can trust your choices and your decisions. You're not responding to the old. Not responding with pleasing, fixing, nurturing grown adults, nurturing unmet needs of others, as if you are the mother to all the little wounded little children who look like adults. No more. Feel the move as you now move as if a powerful force pulls you into the energy center of the throat. And as if this blue is like a drum. And as it's drumming on both sides and pushing in and pulsating. So you can feel it coming through the ears, through the front and the back of the ears, through the jaw, to the back of the neck. Vibrational energy. Feel it going down through the center of the throat and back up. Finding the voice of your truth, your divine voice. Comes in the power of listening, to be silent. Sometimes it's chanting through your list of gratitude of everything that has been great in your life, everything that has worked out, everything that has taken you to a better place. Just gratitude, gratitude. And as this gratitude starts to build up, as these beautiful things build up, in steps grace. And grace is the silence. Grace is a voice that whispers love. Now listen. Now listen. Where we show ourselves mercy. Feel the voice of grace, communicating, speaking. Our most powerful voice is sometimes in our pause before we speak. Finding the true voice. And as you feel this pulsating energy, feel as if this blue is traveling down to the spine and back up through the top, back base of the spine to the top of the head. As if it's connecting into these energy centers of where we find our divine voice, our divine mind, the divine thought, the divine connection. And with this beautiful blue now becoming like a royal blue, that our kindness to ourselves often leaves us speaking a truth in a more kind way, learning that we don't waste our beautiful words on people who don't want to hear what you have to say. You end the conversations of screaming and yelling for the desire to be heard. And you begin to hum. You begin to connect to the vibration. Begin to connect to the love. A new way, new language, new words will unfold as if you are singing this truth of love. Oh. And with this, we move into the possibilities, into between the eyebrows and the third eye. And as we are so close to home, imagine what it would be like to be free of all of the physical weighted down, old, outdated stories and systems, outdated energy, outdated thoughts, or not even your thoughts. Imagine. And as this purple, almost gateway energy appears, feel as if you're stepping in. And when you step in, at the very center of the mind, right in the pineal gland area, where we connect to the divine will, to the God will, where we connect into the seat of the soul, find our seat to sit with our soul, to sit with our higher self, to sit with self, to sit with God consciousness, to sit with the benevolence of you. Imagine, feel, sense, know, living your best, most beautiful life. And all that isn't serving you would be like hoarding. And we're releasing the hoarding of energy and stories because we can't move it into, not allowing it to contaminate your new home, your new space. And as that the seat of the soul, imagine now seeing this purple portal energy just lifting you up, rising you up and out the old. Notice any wants or needs to hold on to, any attachments, any fear that you have of leaving something you love behind. Be aware of it. Don't judge it. Just know that it does happen. It's there. And just breathe into just letting go. Don't worry. All that is of value and importance will return. And with this, imagine being pushed up and out through the crown. And with this, we're entering into spirit. And as the crown opens, 1,000 petals of a lotus flower, as if this is your lotus flower moment, from the roots that form in the murky, muddy waters, that you are now this blossoming flower, that you have risen, that you have found your way home, entering into spirit, into possibility, into the astral fields, into the divinity, into the heavens. As if you can breathe. And as you breathe in, it's like an air you have never breathed before. It's like a love you've never breathed before. It's like being in a light that you have never been in before, or that you've never allowed yourself to stay long enough. Here we ask you to stay, to feel this beautiful iridescent light. And as this light forms around you, that sense of being liberated, being freed from the stories, the sense of knowing and activating joy within, sense of being able to dance and play and run freely, knowing that you're loved, you're safe, you're protected, that you don't need to explain yourself, you don't need validation, you need nothing but just acceptance, radical acceptance here. I am who I am, and I am becoming. And I am becoming my truest, most authentic self. It may not always be liked or loved. It'll always be judged, always be criticized. But that's okay. I'm coming to know me. I'm coming home to me. And with this, feel as if you just fall into this lotus flower energy. Feel as if this crown chakra is pulsating, breathing into you. Feel yourself being a part of spirit, that you're so much more than your physical body, but your physical body is why you're here. It is the vessel. Your human experience is why you are here, to evolve, to grow from shadows to truth. Feel the beautiful energy of here and now, and in your own presence, to be in your own presence. Feel this love. Feel this light. Feel this is you. And this is the way home to you. Activating and slow release the aspects of your truth through all of your energy centers. These are your 7 major, many minor, many meridians, much more to discover. But this is the center. Walking the center line, the space of divinity, the space of the beautiful love. Making space for the you are just beginning to know. And as you take a deep breath in and breathe out, we breathe and push back down. We enter in as if all energy centers are being activated. And we breathe back in, stepping all the way back into your human, feeling yourself come back into your human. Feel your feet, your buttocks being released as if it's being able to float a little bit more, feeling your shoulders come up. Allowing the eyes to open as you take a deep breath in, you breathe out and you stretch, give yourself a big stretch and then a big hug. This was a big journey with big healings that requires you to just be present and just allow yourself to be open to receiving the love and the light without expectation, without a desired outcome, just a knowing that all that leads us home to us, when built on a beautiful, strong foundation, will always lead us to living our most authentic, beautiful life. We don't go back into the basement. We're climbing to the penthouse. Breathe into you, and I send you much love. And if you would love to spend more time learning more about you and discovering that my more than existing level 1 of the lightworker coach, lightworker activation starts in September of 2023. Early sign up, it gives you a $500 discount. If you want to spend 2 evenings a week with me, live, interactive online, as I share with you all that I have experienced, all that I've come to know, and that you can bring that into your own life so that you are here to know that you are here to more than just exist. Here to live your truth, to live in your light. Then I'd love to see you join me. You can go to the mteacademy.ca, go to CorrieThorne.com. All the information is in the link below on YouTube. And if you're in the academy, then you're in the right place, and you can also see it all posted on the main page. And I look forward to seeing there. It is 4 levels. You don't have to take them all. The 1 is the big one. And if you go all the way through the 4th levels, it is a certification. It's the full certification of Lightworker Coach, so that you can also find your way to helping guide others to find their light, because we are here to shine a light. Much, much love. Thank you for being with me, and I look forward to giving you another one of these guided meditations in the near future. Bye-bye.